If you have ever driven north out of Wilmington on Interstate 40 or Highway 117, you have probably passed a sign that says Rocky Point. And maybe you didn't think much about it. But here's the thing, this quiet little pocket of Pender County is changing so fast. It's still rural, it's still affordable, but it's becoming one of the most talked about areas for people who want more space, lower prices, and easy access to Wilmington. Hey everyone, I'm Kevin Millard with eXp Realty, and today we are digging into the pros and cons of living in Rocky Point, North Carolina. We're talking 2025 and beyond. We're going to cover everything: location, lifestyle, housing, schools, taxes, commute times, flood zones, future growth, and who this area really fits best. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you get future notices of videos just like this. I cover all the Wilmington and surrounding areas, and I love to help people like you find their next place to call home. All right, where exactly is Rocky Point? Rocky Point sits about 20 minutes north of downtown Wilmington. It's right off of Interstate 40 in Pender County. It's a straight shot. You can hop on the interstate and be downtown Wilmington in under 25 minutes on most days, or you can head north to Burgaw or Wallace if you prefer some country living. You're going to find farms, pastures, and new homes popping up along 117 and North Carolina 210. There's not a true downtown in Rocky Point, but there's plenty of character. You have local produce stands, small churches, and community schools. Let's talk about a quick history and community feel of Rocky Point. Rocky Point has deep roots in agriculture. Generations of families have lived on the same land for decades. You're going to see old farmhouses next to brand new brick homes, and that mix is going to give it a grounded, authentic feel. What's changing is the growth. As Wilmington gets more crowded and expensive, Rocky Point has become a natural extension of the metro area. New subdivisions like Brick Landing Estates, Wiley Branch Farms, they're beginning to attract first-time home buyers and retirees alike. Let's talk about the pros of living in Rocky Point. You can still find half-acre to 5-acre lots for less than what a townhome costs closer to the beach. Home prices start around the mid-300s, and new builds under $400,000 are pretty common. That's a huge draw for buyers that are priced out of Wilmington or Leland and they're looking for something more affordable. Pro number 2, easy access and central location. Rocky Point is strategically placed. You're within 30 minutes of the beach, downtown, and Wilmington International Airport. That makes it great for commuters. It makes it great for travelers and people who don't want to feel isolated. You have all that stuff right there at your fingertips. Pro number 3, lower taxes and cost of living. People are always surprised about our taxes. Pender County's property tax rate is lower than New Hanover, so that means you can save hundreds to thousands per year. Plus, insurance costs tend to be less since you're a bit inland from storm risk zones. With that being said, if you are looking or just entertaining the idea of Pender County, Rocky Point, or just our area in general, please contact me below. I am more than happy to show you the flood zone maps, contact you with insurance agents that can run prices and give you estimates so that you can begin to kind of put together what it is you're thinking about and what you are going to potentially be spending on a mortgage payment once you take all that stuff into consideration. So please contact me below. No pressure, no obligation. I'm happy to just talk, meet you, and take it from there. All right, pro number 4, new development and rising equity. With new schools, grocery stores, and subdivisions coming, Rocky Point is still early in its growing curve. That means that there's a real appreciation potential. Now, anybody that has been around real estate very long knows that when you can get into an area on the ground floor, as it's beginning to rise, the surrounding areas are rising, then you are in a good spot. And that's what's happening in Rocky Point. Because as Wilmington is almost full, it feels like, and Leland is growing leaps and bounds, you also have Hampstead with the new bypass, and that's really taken off. So now Rocky Point and Burgaw are beginning to fill that gap right there in the middle. And people are really looking at that. And then there's also communities in Rocky Point and around that are offering huge lots of land, like 10 acres of land to put your house on. And it's new construction, and they have incentives, and there's just all sorts of great things that are happening in that area for people that want peace and quiet, and they want some country feel. They want, maybe you don't want to have an HOA, or you want to have a really chill HOA. Well, places like Rocky Point are perfect for you. Maybe you want to have chickens or goats or something like that. Rocky Point, more than likely, is going to fit the bill. All right, let's talk about pro number 5, which is quiet lifestyle and nature. Let's say that you wake up to a bird song instead of sirens, okay? That's what many of you are probably used to. You can garden, raise chickens, or just sit on a porch and listen to the wind. It's really that simple. Slower life, like many people are searching for, is a part of daily life in places like Rocky Point. Pro number 6, friendly community feel. Rocky Point is tight-knit. Neighbors help neighbors. You're gonna get to know everybody, and you're gonna find plenty of local farmers markets and community events year-round. I went up there recently for an event. I think it might have been, oh gosh, I forgot what holiday it was, but we took the kids. They had like helicopter rides. They had all these local vendors. It was the bacon, I think it was a bacon festival, and they had all these different types of bacon, and it was just such a great time. They had games, and it felt like a community coming together and just enjoying life, enjoying being together, meeting people, saying hey. And gosh, it was crowded too. I was really surprised at how many people were there. All right, let's talk about the cons of living in Rocky Point. You can't have the good without the bad. They all go together. And as we know, any place is going to have things that maybe you decide, hey, this is not for me, or I need to consider that before I decide to move there. Con number 1 is limited shopping and dining. You're not going to find a Target or a Trader Joe's in Rocky Point. Now, there is a Trader Joe's in Wilmington, by the way. I love it to death. Most residents instead shop in Wilmington or in Hampstead. And if you're used to a 5-minute drive for everything, you're going to need to adjust your expectations to maybe a 15 or 25-minute commute to run all your errands. Con number 2 is internet and utility access. Some of the sections in Rocky Point still lack fiber internet, which is kind of becoming the standard, you know. Spectrum and Starlink are expanding, but service can vary street by street. Always verify this before you're closing, you know, and maybe even before you put your offer in, because for a lot of people that work from home or just live everyday life depending upon the internet, then hey, you want to make sure that you have that. Let's talk about con number 3, which is weather and flooding. While much of Rocky Point is elevated, there are some low-lying areas near the river that can see standing water after heavy storms. Always check the FEMA map and get a quote for flood insurance ahead of time. I think I already said this, but please contact me below if you're interested in this. I can look at all the flood maps. I can help you with insurance quotes, and or refer you to people that can give you the quotes, and that can help ease your mind if you're worried about all that. All right, let's talk about con number 4, which is rural reality. You're going to get privacy, but also the quirks that come with it. That means insects, occasional farm odors, yeah, all sorts of stuff. Limited street lighting. If you're used to city walkability or late night restaurants, that's not Rocky Point. Rocky Point is to hear the crickets and go down a gravel dirt road and just enjoy being in nature. That's what that is. All right, con number 5, infrastructure is catching up. Growth is outpacing infrastructure in places like Rocky Point. You can expect road work and school construction as the area continues to expand. Every time I turn around, there's a new school out in that area. That said, these projects will add value long term, so it's kind of just part of the growing pains of moving to an area that's up and coming. And if I may say, it's also nice to kind of be a part of something that is up and coming, because you can begin to, if you want to volunteer with the school system, you can help create that community. You can help create that school and the things that they find important. It's really cool to be a part of something that's growing in that way. Con number 6, commute timing matters. While it's a short distance, rush hour traffic heading into Wilmington can still be slow. You get on Interstate 40, you get on 117, everybody's coming at that at 7:30, 8 a.m. It can get a little backed up. So leaving early or working remote really makes a huge difference if you're going to live somewhere like Rocky Point. Rocky Point is perfect for retirees that are wanting peace without complete isolation. Maybe you are a remote worker and you value space and affordability. Families that are looking for newer homes with land. You want some elbow room. You want to spread out. Maybe you want to have chickens, goats. You don't want to have an HOA. You're okay having a well. You're okay having a septic tank. That's what Rocky Point is for. Maybe you are an investor and you're betting on future growth north of Wilmington. It's a second home. It's an investment property, a long-term rental, whatever it is, Rocky Point is going to help you deliver. By the way, if you are interested in Rocky Point, or maybe you're interested in our area overall, like I said, make sure to get our relocation guide at the link below. It has a lot of great information and really help you get your bearings straight when it comes to our southeastern North Carolina area. Some final thoughts. Rocky Point is a community in transition. It's still rural, but it's on the verge of something big. You get the peace of country living with the benefits of being only minutes from the city. If you can handle a little bit of driving and you enjoy watching a community grow around you, it's one of the best values left on the North Carolina coast. If this video helped you, hit like, tap subscribe, and leave a comment below. Could you see yourself living in Rocky Point? Let me know, I'd love to hear. And don't forget, you can grab your free Wilmington relocation guide at the link below. It has a lot of great information, maps, market updates, all that good stuff. I'm Kevin Millard with eXp Realty. Thank you for watching, and remember, love where you live, because where you live shapes how you live. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.